Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Monday evening. We survived Monday, and trust me, that took a lot. This evening, I am talking about what are we prepping for? One of the guys in the office today said, you know, what is it we should be worried about? And obviously, because he knows I do prepping. So, what are you prepping for? And the initial thing, because of what we've been talking about, was obviously what's happened with Russia and Ukraine, and there was a report today about the RAF jets being scrambled because there was some Russian planes up at Shetland, seemingly ones that are looking for submarines or something. And if you're in the UK, you'll probably have heard somewhere that our undersea cables are not exactly the safest. They're not exactly easy to protect. So that was the first thought, especially I think because on the live last night people had said to watch the film Blackout, which I have started watching. I haven't finished it all the way through yet. But when they said, what, and I was like, well, if push comes to shove and it's nuclear, there's not much we can do in the UK. It's going to be poof. But that's not really why I started prepping. I started just because of small things that were happening, and just for things like I want to have some spare food in the house in case we can't get fuel. Remember the time a few years ago when it was really difficult to get fuel and the fuel prices went through the roof? I want to know that I can be a few days in the house and not have to worry. I also want to know that I can be a few days in the house if I'm ill. And if you've watched this channel for a while, you know that's happened to me a couple of times recently. I have never been so glad to be a prepper in all my days, because my nearest shop is 3 miles away. Nearest supermarket, 10 miles away. If I was ill, like I have been a couple of times, it would have been such a big deal to get someone to go to the shops for me. I need to find who's not working, who's available, have they got fuel, have they got money to get me this, do I need to transfer it, etc., etc. And a lot of the time you don't really want to ask someone to do that. So that, I have to say, was a huge relief. But that's, again, it's not really why we did the prepping. Why we did the prepping was just in case. At that time, I did it with the lorry drivers, so supply chains were a bit iffy. Then there was the thing about the power, when the price of oil went up, when Russia invaded Ukraine. And there was just all these little things happening. I was like, I don't personally think there's going to be a huge reset. I think there might be a lot of small resets. And if that means I'm going to go without power for a while, then that's fine. I can deal with that. If that means I'm going to go without fuel for a while, that's fine. I can deal with that. Um, you know, Even just the start of that movie Blackout, if there's a proper big blackout wherever you are, if you don't have cash, you can't get any out of the machines, you can't get any out of the bank, you can't get any anywhere. So it's always a good idea to have some cash, just in case. It's always a good idea to have some spare batteries and a battery powered or wind up radio, because if you have a power cut, everything is geared to the internet, to electricity. Your FM radio should still work, or even your shortwave radio. At least with a radio, you've got half a chance of hearing something. So I have batteries. I actually have a clockwork radio that takes batteries as well. So there's all those little things that it's just in case. It's not that I think there's going to be something huge and disastrous. But in saying that, pretty sure the people of Ukraine, Hawaii, Canada, America, wildfires, war, etc., I'm quite sure they didn't think there was going to be a big thing either. And as I say, I don't think that what I've got is going to last me for years and years. My house isn't big enough to do that. But it will last me a while. And that, for me, is an awful lot of worry off my shoulders if anything does happen. As I say, it could be something as simple as I'm ill, or I'll lose my job. It could be something as simple as there's a power cut with the snow, so you can't go anywhere. You can't get your car out of the snow. I mean, our local town where the shop is, there was one winter where they couldn't get the lorries through for the bread. I mean, the shops were running out of food. So these things are some things to think about, but definitely, why am I prepping? Just in case. Because I just don't know. I'm not confident enough in knowing that everything's going to be fine or that everything's not going to be fine. I'm sort of in the middle. I'm sort of balancing on this seesaw, going, I'll just take that just in case, and I'll have that just in case, and I'll have that just in case. So yeah, that is basically the complete nonsense that is in my head that makes complete sense to me as to why I prep. As to why now, instead of throwing out the broccoli just as it starts to turn yellow, that's what I had for dinner tonight. With cheese sauce. Homemade, I might add. That's why the onions and the peppers, etc., if they're not used very shortly, they will be getting dehydrated. Because I will be keeping them. I will not let anything in this house now turn or go rotten or anything like that. I will freeze it, I will dehydrate it. And that has saved me quite a bit of money, just because I'm not as wasteful as I was before. And that savings that it's made me means that I've been able to prep a bit, just in case. So there you go. That's my joyful thoughts for this evening. Now I am going to go and relax and do nothing because, oh my goodness, what a day. Hope you have a good evening. Catch you later.